Hi everyone, my name is Alex Chan and I'm the Mental and Behavioral Health Specialist for the University of Maryland Extension. And today my topic will be business owning family meetings. So a lot of our clientele here at Extension are farm owning families, business owning families, and so today we're going to be talking about some tips to ensure that family meetings related to the business go well. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about the sources of potential conflict for business owning families. And what the research shows us on business owning families is that there are a few topics that are generally causing a lot of the conflicts for these families. One is the sense of justice, so this would be things related to unfairness in compensation, the quality of how different workers are treated in the family, or tensions that surround how resources are allocated to different areas of the business that different family members run. Decision making is another big source of conflict. So with business owning couples, the sense of being left out or excluded from decision making, or even having too much decision making on one person, both of those can be a source of conflict, whether you're a couple or a family that owns a business. Identity. This gets at the sense that family members often want to differentiate themselves from the family. So if a parent duo owns a business and the children are not as interested in running the business, this may be a source of conflict. And this often happens in intergenerational businesses. And then finally, succession is related to that as well. The sense that who is the business going to go on to, unknowns about the present and future status of the business. This can cause a lot of problems for family-owned businesses. Now, there are ways around these sources of conflict, and generally that means improving communication about the way the business is running. So typical topics that you might want to consider for your family meetings would be to share information about current and future operations, setting goals, problem solving, having an active discussion of responsibilities so that some of these sources of conflict that I just mentioned can be avoided. Now, if you're going to address these topics during family meetings, how can you ensure that these meetings are effective? Well, I'm going to go through a few tips for you all to consider when having these meetings with your family about the business. And like I said, this could pertain to farm owning businesses, or it could pertain to anybody that owns a business with their family. So the first rule of effective family meetings is that they're going to be frequent. They don't just happen randomly with a lot of space in between them, that there should be a specific time of day or week or month, depending on the activity of your business, but it should be frequent enough to feel like it's a regular part of your routine. Next, the things that you discuss during family meetings should be concrete. So write an agenda, stick to the agenda. Don't discuss things that aren't on there, because not everyone has all day to spend on certain family meetings, and so you'll want to stick to the time limit and writing down what you're going to talk about. Participation. So this gets at the idea that all family members should be able to express wishes, expectations, and opinions, even if the final decision-making authority rests with a particular person. In terms of running meetings, one thing you might want to consider to help people feel more invested in family meetings is rotating the facilitation of meetings, who runs the meeting. So just because somebody is running the meeting doesn't necessarily mean that they are making decisions. However, it can add to the sense that they are invested, that the people that are in the decision-making authority value the participation of all members. So this supports that third suggestion as well. A few more tips for you all. So establishing an open, trusting environment is really critical for these family meetings to work well. And one way that you can do that is to ask questions, show that you want to hear people's opinions, and do things like express appreciation for one another. Now, this may be a no-brainer, but it's critical to share in family meetings the good and the bad. Information, the free exchange of information, whether the business is doing well or not, is vital to both the investment and the overall emotional level of the family meetings. So you don't want to just sugarcoat things if they're not going well. You want to let people know what's going on with the health of the business so that people can manage and problem solve if need be. Now, I hinted at this a little bit earlier. Recognition is a big part of family meetings. So a family meeting, even if it is an open, trusting environment, shouldn't just be about the operations or making decisions. There should be a time during family meetings where people can be recognized for their efforts to support the business. And then finally, communication rules are key. So most families, you're a family, you don't think about having rules of having family meetings. But in a business, in any other type of environment, there are rules that people follow to ensure that meetings run well. And in a family-run business, you may want to consider establishing jointly some rules that you all can follow together so that everyone feels safe and that enhances the environment of the family meeting to make more people participate fully. So those are just a few tips. What I encourage you all to do is stay tuned to our extension webpage and social media, because we were actually just awarded a grant via the Northeast Extension Risk Management Education Group to support more education on the topic of succession planning and family communications. So stay tuned, look for more detailed and intensive workshops related to this topic in the future. So thanks for your attention today, and have a good rest of your day.